The Pentagon has been hiding something for decades. Files marked classified, budgets with mysterious holes, sonic booms that shouldn't exist. For 40 years, they denied it, called it a myth. But new evidence suggests the impossible might be true. The SR-91 Aurora, America's most secret aircraft, may have been real all along. What you're about to discover will change everything you thought you knew about our military's hidden capability. Right now, deep in Nevada's desert, hangars hold secrets that could rewrite aviation history. The SR-91 Aurora project has haunted military circles since the 1980s. Whispers of an aircraft so advanced, so classified, that even its existence was denied. But recent discoveries are forcing us to ask, has America been operating hypersonic spy planes in complete secrecy? The evidence we've uncovered will shock you. If you're as fascinated by our military's incredible achievements as we are, type YES in the comments below. Let us know what you think about these revelations. It started with a simple budget mistake in 1985. Someone at the Pentagon forgot to black out a single word in classified documents. That word was Aurora. Suddenly, defense analysts discovered $455 million allocated for something called black aircraft production. Not research, not development, production. This wasn't pocket change. This was serious money for serious hardware, the kind of funding that builds fleets, not prototypes. But when reporters started asking questions, the military went silent. Too silent. In 40 years of military programs, nothing had ever been shut down this quietly. Before we dive deeper into this incredible story, I'd love your support. If you appreciate uncovering these military secrets, please hit that subscribe button and like this video. Over 98% of you watch without subscribing. It costs nothing, but helps us tremendously. Did you click subscribe? The Los Angeles Times first broke the story, followed by Aviation Week and Space Technology magazine. These weren't conspiracy theorists or amateur bloggers. These were respected defense publications with decades of credibility. When they spoke, the military community listened. Aviation Week reported that Project Aurora referred to multiple exotic aircraft programs, not just one plane. This suggested an entire family of advanced vehicles being developed simultaneously. The scope was massive. The implications were staggering. Meanwhile, America's fastest spy plane, the legendary SR-71 Blackbird, was suddenly retired. Officials claimed budget cuts. But here's what didn't make sense. The Air Force didn't fight it, not once. Every military program faces retirement battles. Generals fight. Congress argues. Politicians intervene. But with the Blackbird, nothing. Complete silence. The Blackbird cost between $200 and $300 million annually to operate. Expensive, yes. But for an aircraft that could outrun any missile, photograph any target, and gather intelligence impossible to obtain any other way, that was bargain pricing for national security. Our military doesn't abandon successful programs without replacements. They never have. They never will. So, what replaced the Blackbird? What aircraft could make the world's fastest plane obsolete overnight? August 1989. Chris Gibson, a 12-year veteran aircraft spotter, was working on an oil platform 100 miles off England's coast. Gibson knew aircraft. He'd identified thousands of planes for the Royal Observer Corps, but what he saw that morning defied explanation. A triangular aircraft unlike anything in any manual, flying in formation with American fighters, being refueled by a military tanker. The shape was wrong. The size was wrong. Everything about it screamed classified technology. Gibson sketched what he saw, knowing nobody would believe him. The formation was precise, professional, military. This wasn't some experimental craft on a test flight. This was operational hardware conducting routine missions. The refueling process suggested long-range capabilities, perhaps intercontinental range. Gibson's credentials made his testimony impossible to dismiss. 12 years with the Royal Observer Corps, expert aircraft recognition training, thousands of successful identifications. When Gibson spoke, aviation experts listened, but Gibson wasn't alone. That same year, residents near Area 51 began hearing something new, a sound unlike any aircraft engine. Witnesses described it as the sky ripping apart. These weren't normal sonic booms. These were something else entirely. The sounds came at specific times, early morning hours when most people were asleep. Perfect timing for classified test flights. The noise patterns suggested pulsed engines, technology that would later become associated with hypersonic propulsion systems. Then came the donuts on a rope. strange contrails appearing across Nevada and California, perfectly spaced vapor formations that suggested a new type of engine, pulse detonation technology, the kind of advanced propulsion that could push aircraft beyond Mach 5. These contrails appeared at altitudes above 60,000 feet, higher than commercial aircraft, higher than most military planes. Only the most advanced reconnaissance aircraft operated at such heights, aircraft designed to avoid detection and interception. Follow the money, and the truth emerges. Aviation expert Bill Sweetman spent decades tracking classified budgets. What he found was staggering: $9 billion in unexplained Air Force spending. Money that vanished into programs with no names, no acknowledgement, no oversight. $9 billion doesn't disappear. It builds something extraordinary, something so advanced that admitting its existence would change global power dynamics forever. The kind of aircraft that makes traditional air defenses obsolete. Sweetman's investigation revealed sophisticated budget manipulation, money moved between accounts, programs hidden within larger initiatives, code names that led nowhere, classic signs of special access programs designed to hide breakthrough technology. The funding patterns matched previous black programs. The F-117 stealth fighter had similar budget signatures before its public revelation. The B-2 bomber showed identical financial footprints. The Aurora funding followed the same template. But here's what makes this even more fascinating. Lockheed Skunk Works division showed massive classified income during this period. Income they couldn't explain publicly. The same Skunk Works that built the U-2, the SR-71, and the F-117, the most secretive aircraft division in American history. Financial analysts noted unusual activity at Lockheed facilities, increased hiring for classified positions, new construction at secure sites, research partnerships with universities working on hypersonic technology, all indicators of major classified development programs. These weren't random budget anomalies. These were systematic investments in breakthrough technology. Technology so advanced that even today, 40 years later, the full truth remains hidden. Congressional budget reviews from the period show curious pattern. Questions about unexplained aircraft funding were consistently deflected. Classified briefings that left lawmakers satisfied but silent. The kind of political management that protects crucial national security programs. Building a hypersonic aircraft in the 1980s would have pushed every technological boundary: materials science, propulsion systems, heat management, navigation. Every component would need revolutionary advancement. Hypersonic flight generates temperatures exceeding 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Standard aircraft materials melt instantly. New composite materials would be essential. Materials that could maintain structural integrity while glowing white-hot. The propulsion challenge was equally daunting. Traditional jet engines fail above Mach 3. Ramjet technology works to Mach 6. Beyond that, scramjet engines become necessary, each technology requiring years of development and testing. But America's aerospace industry was uniquely positioned for such challenges. Companies like Lockheed, Boeing, and Northrop had decades of experience with classified programs. Teams of engineers cleared for the highest security levels, facilities designed for revolutionary research. NASA's hypersonic research provided crucial foundation work. The X-15 program had already achieved Mach 6.7 in 1967. The technology existed. The question was scaling it up for operational aircraft. Computer modeling capabilities in the 1980s finally made hypersonic design feasible. Supercomputers could simulate airflow patterns, heat distribution, and structural stresses. Design work that previously required years of wind tunnel testing could be completed in months. The timing was perfect. Advanced materials were becoming available. Computer design tools were maturing. Manufacturing techniques were improving. All the pieces needed for hypersonic aircraft were finally coming together. Something big happened at Groom Lake in the 1980s. Satellite images tell an incredible story. Massive construction projects. New hangars large enough for aircraft twice the size of the Blackbird. Runway extensions stretching 6 miles into the desert. 6 miles. Let that sink in. Normal runways handle aircraft landing at 200 miles per hour, but runway length increases with landing speed. A 6-mile runway suggests aircraft approaching at incredible velocities. Hypersonic velocities. Commercial satellite imagery from the period shows dramatic changes. New buildings appearing annually. Runway modifications following aircraft-specific requirements. Infrastructure designed for capabilities beyond officially acknowledged programs. The construction timeline matched Aurora funding patterns perfectly. Major building phases corresponded with budget allocations. facility modifications aligned with reported test flight schedules. The correlation was too precise to be coincidental. Construction workers, speaking anonymously decades later, described unusual requirements: hangars with specialized climate control, runways with heat-resistant materials, fuel systems designed for exotic propellants. Everything suggested aircraft operating beyond normal parameters. Security measures at Groom Lake intensified during this period. Expanded restricted airspace, increased patrol schedules, new detection systems around the perimeter, the kind of security reserved for America's most sensitive programs. The construction wasn't random. Every building, every facility was designed for something specific. Something that required unprecedented secrecy, something that needed runways longer than anywhere else in America. Former base personnel, speaking anonymously years later, confirmed unusual activity: night flights with no official records, aircraft sounds unlike anything in the military inventory, security measures beyond even typical black program. 1991 brought undeniable proof that something extraordinary was flying over California. Seismologists recording earthquake data discovered mysterious sonic signatures. Not earthquake, not space shuttle, something else. The United States Geological Survey operates sensitive seismograph networks across Southern California. These instruments detect the slightest ground vibrations. They're designed to pinpoint earthquake locations within miles. But in 1991, they detected something unexpected: sonic booms with characteristics unlike any known aircraft. The signatures appeared every Thursday morning between 4 and 7 a.m. Perfect timing for test flights from Nevada to California. The sonic patterns suggested aircraft at 90,000 feet, traveling at incredible speeds. Dr. Jim Morey, a seismologist with the USGS, studied these unusual readings. His analysis revealed sonic signatures stronger than other sonic booms we record once in a while. The patterns suggested vehicles much smaller than the space shuttle, but traveling much faster than anything officially operational. The timing was too regular to be coincidence. Thursday morning flights suggested weekly test schedules. The 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. window minimized civilian air traffic. Professional test pilots prefer early morning conditions for stability and visibility. NASA's sonic boom experts analyzed the data independently. Their conclusion was startling. These signatures came from aircraft traveling at speeds consistent with hypersonic flight. The altitude profiles matched theoretical calculations for Mach 5 plus vehicles. The geographic pattern was equally revealing. Flights originated from Nevada and terminated in California, the exact flight path between Area 51 and Edwards Air Force Base, America's two premier test facilities for classified aircraft programs. 15 years of recorded data showed consistent patterns. Regular test flights, seasonal variations suggesting weather-dependent operations, flight profiles indicating systematic testing of hypersonic aircraft capabilities. Aurora sightings weren't limited to American airspace. Reports emerged from Britain, indicating international cooperation or extended range operations. RAF bases in Scotland were reportedly involved in supporting mysterious aircraft operations. In 2000, journalist Nick Outerside reported that RAF Machrihanish in Scotland served as a forward operating base for Aurora aircraft. The base's remote location and extended runway made it ideal for classified operations requiring Atlantic crossing capabilities. British Ministry of Defense documents from 2006 referenced American plans for Mach 4 to 6 highly supersonic vehicles. This wasn't speculation or rumor. This was official government acknowledgement of American hypersonic aircraft development programs. Group Captain Tom Eales of the RAF reported unusual aircraft flying over his residence near Mildenhall Air Base in 1993. The engine sound was unlike anything he'd heard in decades of military aviation experience. When he inquired about the aircraft, he was told firmly to stop making questions. A mysterious crash at RAF Boscombe Down in 1994 involved an unidentified American aircraft. The plane was immediately covered with tarps and removed by American transport aircraft. The incident suggested ongoing operations of classified American aircraft in British airspace. These international connections indicated Aurora wasn't just a test program. If operational, the aircraft would require global support infrastructure, forward bases, maintenance facilities, international agreements allowing hypersonic overflights. When confronted with mounting evidence, the Pentagon's response was telling. Not denial, not explanation. Silence. The kind of silence that speaks volumes about classified operations. Ben Rich, former director of Skunk Works, eventually addressed the Aurora rumors in his 1994 book, Skunk Works. His explanation? Aurora was simply a code name for B-2 bomber funding, nothing more. But Rich's explanation raised more questions than it answered. Rich wrote, "Although I expect few in the media to believe me, there is no code name for the hypersonic plane because it simply does not exist." But the phrasing was curious. Rich didn't deny hypersonic aircraft development. He denied a specific code name. Why use Aurora for the B-2 when the bomber already had established code names? Why the massive budget discrepancies? Why the continued secrecy decades after the B-2's public revelation? Some experts believe Rich's explanation was deliberate misdirection, a way to acknowledge the Aurora name while protecting ongoing classified programs. In the world of black projects, truth often comes wrapped in layers of deception. The military's handling of Aurora questions followed established patterns for protecting classified programs. Acknowledge enough to seem cooperative, deny specifics to maintain security. Redirect attention to acknowledged programs like the B-2. Congressional oversight committees received classified briefings about Aurora. Representatives emerged from these sessions satisfied that appropriate programs existed, but unwilling to discuss details. The classic response to legitimate but sensitive military capabilities. Modern implications. Today's hypersonic race between America, China, and Russia suggests the Aurora program might have been more successful than anyone imagined. While other nations struggle to achieve Mach 5 flight, America displays confidence that comes from experience. Recent military statements about hypersonic capabilities hint at decades of classified development. Technology that seemed impossible in the 1980s is now becoming mainstream. But America's comfort with hypersonic warfare suggests they've been playing this game much longer than officially acknowledged. The SR-72 Son of Blackbird program, now publicly acknowledged, bears striking similarities to Aurora descriptions. Same triangular shape, same hypersonic mission, same manufacturer. Perhaps the Aurora program never ended, it just evolved. Lockheed Martin's Skunk Works continues developing hypersonic aircraft. Rob Weiss, the division's general manager, confirmed in 2017 that hypersonic flight technology had matured sufficiently for operational aircraft. This suggests decades of prior development work. Current American hypersonic weapons programs demonstrate advanced capabilities. The Army's long-range hypersonic weapon, the Navy's conventional prompt strike system, the Air Force's AGM-183ARRW missile, all indicate mature hypersonic technology bases. China and Russia's recent hypersonic achievements, while impressive, seem to be catching up to American capabilities rather than exceeding them. This suggests America maintained technological advantages through classified programs like Aurora. The truth revealed. 40 years of evidence points to an uncomfortable truth. The Aurora program likely existed. Advanced aircraft were probably tested. Hypersonic flight was possibly achieved decades before official acknowledgement. The budget evidence is overwhelming. $9 billion in unexplained funding doesn't disappear without producing significant capabilities. The money went somewhere. It built something extraordinary. The witness testimony is credible. Chris Gibson's North Sea sighting, RAF officers' reports of unusual aircraft, civilian observations of strange contrails and sonic booms, independent witnesses reporting consistent details. The technological foundation existed. Materials science was advancing. Propulsion research was maturing. Computer design tools were becoming available. All the pieces needed for hypersonic aircraft development were present in the 1980s. Our military's commitment to maintaining air superiority demands such programs. The technology existed. The budget supported it. The infrastructure was built. The only question is how successful these efforts became. Whether Aurora achieved operational status remains classified, but the program's existence seems increasingly certain. America's aerospace capabilities may be far more advanced than any foreign government realizes. The classified world operates by different rules. Programs exist for decades without acknowledgement. Technologies mature in secret before public revelation. Aurora fits this pattern perfectly. The SR-91 Aurora represents more than just advanced technology. It represents American innovation, determination, and our military's unwavering commitment to protecting national security. While the full truth may remain classified for decades, one thing is clear. Our forces continue pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey into military aviation's greatest mystery. If you enjoyed uncovering these secrets, please like this video and subscribe for more fascinating military stories. The truth is out there, and together we'll keep searching.